Hello everyone, my name is Lucia,
And my name is Neeva.
and today we're going to be talking about study skills to maximize virtual learning. So here's an overview of what we'll be talking about today. We're going to be discussing why we decided to do this workshop. We're going to talk about identifying learning strategies and learning styles, creating spaces to study, how to schedule a virtual quarter. We're going to go over avoiding distractions and creating balance. And finally, how and who to reach out to support and some additional resources for you.
So, why this workshop? The reason why we decided to create this workshop is because now that our courses are online, we understand that students have moved back home or are off campus for this quarter and might be in a new environment. This means that there is a limited amount of resources now available to students, and everything has moved virtually. With all of these changes, we can understand that now school will be even more challenging, and now that we're virtual, it can be really difficult for us as students to maintain good study habits. That is why we're here. We want to provide you all with some tips and information that we hope will help you have a successful quarter.
So now we're going to be talking about identifying your learning style and strategies and thinking about what ways you learn best and study best. So it's important to learn about your learning styles, and there's 4 main types of learning styles. You might have heard or learned about these before, and you might already know yours. So the main 4 are auditory, tactile, kinesthetic, and visual. Auditory learners learn best by hearing. Tactile learners learn best by reading and writing. Kinesthetic learners learn best by doing, so more hands-on activities. And visual learners learn best by seeing. And so you can take the VARC questionnaire to find your specific learning styles too. And so if you follow this page and you can search it up online, it'll give you a set of questions that you can answer, asking you how you would handle different situations and what kind of styles would work best for you to understand a concept or like an idea. And at the end, it ranks your top styles. And sometimes you may be a combination of 2 different ones, which is a really good thing to learn about yourself. That way you can try different styles and see what works best for you, whether it's one over the other or a combination of 2 or 3 different styles. And so if you see here on the right side, there's a chart that gives you examples of what these styles look like. And so here are some questions to think about. You can read them over and see which answer works best for you. So now that you've read each question and answered them, according to the responses, if most of your answers are A, those are auditory, B is tactile, C is kinesthetic, and D is visual. So here are some tips for each learning style. For auditory learners, it is recommended to listen and focus during lectures instead of trying to write down notes, hopefully if the lectures are uploaded. And when studying, it is recommended to read notes out loud while reviewing, discussing with a partner or group, using voice memos to re-listen to important points, and creating rhymes or mnemonics. And for visual learners, it is best to rewatch lectures and watch supplemental videos. And with studying, it is recommended to color code notes, create diagrams and concept maps, use flashcards with pictures or formulas, and use post-it notes to help remember key information. For tactile learners, it is recommended to do your readings and review slides before and or after lectures. And when studying, it is recommended to review through printouts, rewrite text in your own words to help you better understand the material, writing up summaries, and creating lists or step-by-step process of lecture notes. For kinesthetic learners, it is recommended to write notes during lectures to maintain focus. And when studying, it is recommended to study in short study blocks to help you focus and take breaks. Walking or using a stress ball or like fidget toys to help you maintain focus while reviewing your notes. Using examples from lectures and also discussing in groups or trying to teach each other.
So here we're going to discuss like how to figure out study techniques which work best for you. We can identify how you normally study best. So do you study better at a certain time of day, like if you study best at morning, afternoon, or evening? Or do you study better with ambient noise, or if it's like really quiet? And do you prefer writing with pen and paper versus typing up your notes? And along with that, do you prefer PDF readings versus hard copy textbooks? Those are just some questions to consider. Um, Here are some new types of resources to try. So note-taking applications on your iPad or tablet, such as Evernote or Microsoft OneNote, are both really great resources to try out. And if you haven't tried it before, Quizlet is also a really great online resource to use to supplement your studying. As well as that, we recommend implementing regular study environments. So if you normally work at the library, maybe consider getting a whiteboard and a marker to write down your notes, maybe a chalkboard with chalk, some poster paper. We also think that using flashcards is a really great way, as well as creating study groups virtually. That can really help maintain good study environments.
So now we're going to be talking about creating new study spaces and how to maintain a study environment outside of UCSC. So some things to consider in how to create your own study space, trying to create a space where you can study and like listen to like your recordings of classes, doing homework and assignments and like exams as well. So if you don't have a proper like desk that's designated for studying, you can also use like a dining table. That's something that I use. And then also if you can, getting like a desk chair that's more helpful for like long periods of sitting, or if not, just using a regular chair with a pillow or like a soft blanket that can make it more comfortable, just because sitting down for a long period of time can be very tiring. Another thing to consider is remote locations. So if you have a backyard or if you have a front porch, that's also a fun way to kind of change your setting, just to take breaks from being indoors. Of course, while maintaining physical distance from others. So maybe if you have like a bench outside or a table, that can also be a good idea. And some places to avoid when studying, if possible, is your bed and the couch, just to avoid to get from getting too comfortable where you'll end up getting distracted or falling asleep. And of course, it's important to stretch, move around, and take breaks as needed, just so you can maintain focus and you're not feeling too overwhelmed trying to cram too much information at once.
So here we are going to talk about scheduling a virtual quarter. This is where we want to set a schedule like a regular quarter to minimize any procrastination that we might have.
Okay, so how to continue a consistent schedule. It's important to create a schedule just so you can keep track of everything, whether that's scheduling yourself day by day or week by week, whatever works best for you. And some things to consider when planning out your day or week is thinking about when you're going to be studying, also thinking about your upcoming deadlines. And you also want to try your best to stay on top of every class and be present during your Zoom classes if they're live. And it's also important to think about like your other responsibilities, such as taking care of siblings, or if you have work or any other commitments that you have going on that you also need to incorporate into your schedule. It's also important, as I previously mentioned, to take breaks when you can, especially if you have back-to-back classes or if you have other responsibilities. It kind of gives you like a little transition break. You can either take a nap, have your meals during these breaks, just so that you're not feeling too overwhelmed, especially because being indoors all day can be very stressful. And if possible, during these breaks, you can try going for a short walk, stretching, and relocating to a different study space if that's possible. And as we always like to talk about, self-care, it's important to take some time off, especially during these times that it can be very overwhelming with everything going on. And if you can, try to take a personal day. It can be during the weekend or during the week if you have that availability in your schedule. Something that's also important is maintaining communication with friends and family. Now that we don't have that physical one-on-one interactions, it's really hard to maintain communication with people. So try as much if possible. And also incorporating sleeping and eating into your schedule. That's also very important. If you can't get a full night's rest because you're very busy or you're studying, try to incorporate naps just so that you're not feeling too tired or that so that you don't get sick. And of course, eating. You can also search up if there are any pantries or any free resources in your area that can help you with providing more meals for you.
The reason to create a regular schedule is to help overcome procrastinations. And these are some more ways to help you with overcoming procrastination. So, we really recommend setting goals. So consider long-term goals as well as short-term goals. So what are the goals for this quarter? And then what are the steps that you need to achieve them? So those could be considered like little mini goals. And then we really want to create a timeline of step-by-step goals to stay on track of what we want to accomplish this quarter. Another really great way is to create study groups or have a study partner. This can really help you stay accountable, not just to yourself, but to other people. So it can help you stay on track with your schoolwork. You can also create study review sessions that can happen before midterms or finals, and they can help you review topics you might need help with others in the class.
So here are some ways of scheduling your day by day or your week by week. A cool feature that I use frequently is Google Calendar. And as you can see here, you can color code your calendar. You can incorporate like your classes, your work time, your study time, your meals, your weekends as well. And this is a really great feature to use because you can set reminders either to your desktop, to your phone, your iPad, your electronic devices where you have Google Calendar downloaded to. Another way to manage your time and schedule yourself is through our EOP time management grid, which you can find step-by-step instructions on how to use in our website at eop.ucsc.edu. And finally, another cool way of scheduling and maintaining a weekly consistent schedule is through bullet journaling. I also like this cool way of scheduling yourself just because you can kind of choose how you want to like schedule or create a planner. You can either do a day by day, week by week, a monthly, and you can also incorporate other features such as to-do lists, habit trackers, and any other kind of things that you want to incorporate and make note of. And you can also find templates online as well.
So next we want to talk about avoiding distractions. We really want to create spaces that avoid any distractions. So first, we really want to identify what are some distractions that are around you. So we're considering TV or Netflix, phone, social media, even family, housemates, or pets if they can be distracting, as well as websites such as YouTube. We really recommend that you keep your phone away from your workspace because if your phone is near you, you can just reach for it, get really distracted using apps. If it's further away, you have to like get up to get it so that it forces you to continue working when you want to get distracted. There's also apps that you can add onto your browser that can help restrict how long you go on certain websites, such as YouTube. You can have it restricted for 2 hours a day, and that can help you feel more productive as well as keeping you distracted free.
So now we're going to be talking about creating balances. So it's important to think about how you're going to ensure that you still prioritize school. For example, if you have work or other family commitments. It's also important to communicate your needs, whether with your family or your housemates. And that way you have like the opportunity to talk about like what your needs are. For example, if you're going to be like working, or if you need that like quiet space and time alone to study. And also self-discipline. Now that things are virtual, it can be really hard to stay on track of your classes and on track of studying. So you want to make sure that you set up some sort of system that helps you still attend class regularly and still stay on top of your workload despite not being on campus anymore and having those spaces to study, like the library or the lounges.
Right now is a really important time to reach out for support, and there are a lot of people that can continue to support you right now. So we really want you to reach out to professors if you need additional support. Your professors uh, will be happy to help you, especially because they understand that it is a hard time. But you do need to reach out if you do feel like you're struggling. They can recommend you to LSS or some other tutoring services, and they can really help you with any barriers that may be impacting your studies.
As Neva mentioned, Learning Support Services is a great resource. They do have tutoring sessions that are held via Zoom, and you can learn more about their services on their website at lss.ucsc.edu to stay updated on tutoring sessions for like midterms or finals, and also have a list of what courses are supported with tutoring. And you can also follow them on Instagram for more updates as well. In addition, we also have EOP counselors that are available to help you navigate this difficult time. If you're having issues with classes, your difficulty communicating with your family, having financial issues, having obstacles with housing, anything like that, EOP counselors can help you, and you can schedule an appointment, and these are also held via Zoom to better support you and also refer you to other services as well. And here are some additional campus resources. There's CAPS where you can talk to a professional, and they still have virtual sessions, which is really great. And you can also talk to them and call them or email them to get more support and learn more about what services are available during this remote quarter. There's also Slick support, which also helps over a variety of different services. You can contact them at deanofstudents@ucsc.edu, and they're also available via remote appointments through Zoom. It's also important to reach out to your college and major advisors. They can help you to discuss any updated or changed policies during this time, such as pass no pass classes, talking about graduation requirements, and if you're considering withdrawing from a class, taking a quarter off. Those are also some things to think about that they can help you navigate. And if you visit the Keep Learning website at keeplearning.ucsc.edu, you can learn more about some of the resources that we talked about and any other tips and tricks on how to navigate this remote quarter.
Thanks for joining us for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at eop.pals@ucsc.edu. We're still holding drop-in hours. Thank you.